Hi, so just doing the rekeying laboratory assignments where I want to take the lock cylinder out of this guy here, rekey it from these keys here to a new key. So just getting started, this style knob set, you have to insert the key, turn it, and then take a pokey tool. It just goes into the side slot here. Let's turn that a bit more. So it takes the ball knob off. And then we can pull the back of the knob out, pull our current key out. We've got our cylinder here. This one is a WR3, so a weiser keyway, and currently working pretty well because it's factory new. So we'll start with removing the C-clip on the back of the cylinder. Just pop it off like that. Sure it doesn't go flying. We put in our current key. We'll turn that sideways and take our follower and just slide the casing out like that. And now we can remove the old pins. I'm just going to set them off to the side here because we can wipe our cylinder down. For lubricant, usually use our company Lock Saver, so I believe it's a Teflon based lubricant. So it uses the alcohol to get all the grease and grime out of there, and then leaves a light dry residue to help keep the pins working the way they should. So I'll take our new key here. This one's got the factory code on it, so I'll read the numbers there. I do have a key gauge if I needed. So we'll fill some pins in. Also 221. So weiser 25. 205. Double checking that the pins are at the right height with the key. I know weiser usually sets a little above the chamber. So, 25. Okay, we can see all our pins sitting there with the key in there nice and flush. Just going to set this off to the side for now. And what I'll actually do, I'm just going to let top pins and springs come out of the cylinder so I can check to make sure they're nice and clear. So all the springs and top pins seem to be in good shape. There's some lubricant in there to clean it out. I will rebuild the cylinder. So I like to do it so you can start the last two here. slide our top pin in and then pinch it with the follower so that we can get the top of the cylinder back together. So I'll replace that spring. Come on. There we go. Whew. Just starting my van back up. It's a little cold here. Those two chambers rebuilt. Definitely helps use a little slot in the follower to get those pins in. Okay. So we got all our top pins back in. So then we can go and insert our plug back in. I personally like putting them in with the key in the cylinder, just so then you know right away if your pins are riding too high, because then it'll kind of jam up. Obviously, if you're doing like a master key or something like that, you can't really do that. Slide that back in and just give it a quick test. Seems to work nice and smoothly. Pull the key out. Make sure you don't pull the plug out because that C clip's not back on yet. We'll put that on now. So that snaps on. Insert the key and it works nice and smooth. Give it a little extra shot of lubricant. I like holding it upside down for this to really help get that lubricant into the top of the Bible. And then kind of just work the key in. I always try to push up on the key, push down on the key, kind of push it in different directions to make sure it's not catching in any way, so that all our sizing is correct. So then we can put the cylinder back into the knob, and then back of the knob set in there. And when we're putting it back onto the actual hardware here, I always try to keep the key in it, just because sometimes the cylinder moves around and you need it in that specific position. Then you can turn it sideways, that final bit, and it locks it into place. Make sure the knob's not coming off, and then we can test it. So key goes in, unlocks that, retracts this. I know, yeah, like I was saying earlier, the dry lubricant definitely for the key cylinder. You can use a light oil maybe on the latch or the interior hardware. I don't really like graphite because I find it kind of gums stuff up over time, but yeah, so that's rekeying a residential ball knob, WR3 keyway, and yeah.